What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I know I didn't do a live update last week. I actually forgot to do it. I was busy doing some other stuff. But I'm back. I'm going to do a quick update this week. Just to let you guys know, for a heads up, there won't be a live stream next week. Well, actually, there might be a small possibility that I'll do a live stream next week, but I'm gonna be on vacation next week. I'm gonna be down in DC, so I'm not really gonna be making any videos. Also, as a heads up, I'm not gonna be making any more videos for a while, probably the next 2 weeks, because vacation next week. Week after that, it's back to school. I'm going into my senior year, so just a heads up that there really won't be any videos. So I've kind of already started the hiatus of having no videos, but I will continue with the live updates every Thursday, between 8 and 9 o'clock, or 9 and 10 o'clock. So that's really all I wanted to let you guys know. So, but anyway, I'm just going to start off with going through this vehicle right here. This is in the thumbnail for this live stream. This is just a basic civilian version of a 2012 Ford F-150. I really like what I did with the bed right there. I like how the wheel wells look inside there. I think that looks pretty cool. So that's all I did with that. Nothing real special. I'll show you that back bumper though, because that looks nice. But yeah, nothing special going on with that. That was just to get some more civilian vehicles in the city, because I feel like the city itself is overpopulated with just police cars and ambulances and fire trucks. I have too many of those. I need to work on some other vehicles. But the vehicles are going to wait, because I do have one other thing to show you, which I've been working steadily on for the last few days now. As you guys know, I've been working on a hotel MOC that is styled in a Art Deco 1920s-esque feel to it. It's supposed to be like New York inspired. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from, the New Yorker Hotel. I'm taking inspiration from the Empire State Building. I'm taking inspiration from a hotel that I saw pictures of that's in upstate New York. So yeah, just a lot of like 1920s Art Deco styling to it. So I finally got the pieces on Sunday, and I started getting back to work on the thing on Monday, and I've been working on it ever since. So I'm just gonna give you a quick look at the progress. Now, prepare yourselves, because this looks completely different from what it looked like in the last live update that I did. You can actually go back and check out the last live update or the update before that, because I gave you a look at the current progress of the hotel, and all I had was an unfinished first floor. So I guess I'll go ahead and show you guys what it looks like right now. Yeah, very, very different from what you saw before with just this bottom section and a few of these pillars. So yeah, 5 stories tall. That's awesome. I got 4 stories done in only 4 days of work, along with all this exterior detailing with the pillars and the windows and stuff like that. It's even on this side too. I didn't put anything here because in reality, this probably would be up against another building. This is basically the equivalent to a corner building in the Lego Modular series. So let me just do a quick run through of what I have here. So, of course, I've kind of already gone into detail about the first floor. I've got 2 entrances. One has this revolving door on this street side, and then you got these kind of double doors right here. Not revolving doors, just regular doors on this street entrance. So, and then you got the windows here. The design for the windows was inspired by Rockefeller Center, which is in New York City. You're starting to see that a lot of that Art Deco come into play here. Then around this side, I like these overhangs, the little gold elements that I added on them. Then up this side, I did thinner windows, just because I didn't want to use up too many of those dark green window pieces that I had. I had a ton of them, but I didn't want to use up too many. So I did, a full set right here. So I got through, and there's 6 right here, and there's, 3 of the large each floor. And here, I decided to have it kind of taper off, just like a lot of those 1920s and early 20th century skyscraper buildings tended to do. They did that because structural stability and stuff, but I think it also made for a very cool looking art type of design, architecture look to it. I think it looks pretty cool. If you actually look at pictures of things like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building, those all are skyscrapers built in the 1920s and 1930s that tapered off the further they went up. There are, of course, countless other buildings in countless other cities, but I'm mainly focusing on New York, that had this style of tapering off the farther you went up, just to provide extra structural stability. Now, I am not done with this hotel whatsoever. I still have to do this top section. There's going to be a kind of a gray spire that extends up from here, and then in big red letters it's going to spell out Empire Hotel. So the spire that extends up from here is going to be inspired by the Empire State Building spire, which in design was originally made to dock airships right about here. Of course, they never did that. I think they did it once, but I think they started to realize, even, the dawn of the airship was in World War I, and people started to realize how dangerous they were by the mid-1930s. So, they eventually built, a few decades later, they built the little spire that you see right here. This is like a radio type tower, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but it's going to be, the spire that I have on the hotel is going to be inspired by this. Not an exact replica, but definitely inspired by it. And I'll just give you a quick look of how this tapers off. And that was kind of like that design I was going for. That tapered off look on the hotel. So that's what that's going to look like. It's going to come up from there. And then if you've ever seen pictures of the New Yorker Hotel, you know that at the top of the building in big bold red letters it says New Yorker. Same thing here, but saying Empire Hotel. And that's basically the plan. And then I'll be done with this. I did furnish the lobby area, but none of these floors are going to be furnished just because of parts, time, and money, which is my reason for everything that I do, really. It's the reason why I didn't furnish the interior of that, except the first floor. Parts, time, money, same thing here. So, there could be a possibility that I do this floor just to give you an idea of what the rooms might look like, but that's the only thing I'm going to do. Some of you may be wondering, with all these spires that extend up the sides of the building, how do you take the floors off? And can you take the floors off? Well, yes, you can take the floors off, and I will show you how you do it. Now, it's the same deal for what's up here, but I'll show you just an idea down here. Each of these pillars attaches at the bottom section and at the roof section. So I just detach the studs on the roof section. This one's a little bit loose. And then I just simply take it all off. Now, this isn't the most structurally sound type of thing because these pillars can now be pretty easily knocked over. But that really wasn't my main concern because I'm really not going to be taking off the roof all that often anyway. I'm not even sure why I made it so I could. Probably just because in the future I will furnish the interior. But I'm glad that I did it anyway. I'm just gonna give you a quick look at what the floors look like without the pillars. Pretty plain, to say the least. But, you know, that was the idea since I already have the pillars there. Nothing else really needed to be added except for the windows. I'm just gonna attach these studs back where they were. Let me know if you have any questions about this MOC or any of the other MOCs in my city. I'm just going to give you a quick idea of what else is going to go in this area before I go today. But eventually this is going to be moved out. But Downtown Diner will go right here. But right here, what I'm building here, this was originally intended to be a fast food restaurant. But since I'm going for a New York right here, New York themed hotel, 1920s themed hotel type thing, I decided to go and make this a souvenir shop. Just because there are so many of them in New York City. 2 summers ago when I went to New York City, I stayed at the New Yorker Hotel, and the next block over, I'm not even kidding, the next block over to the New Yorker Hotel, there were 3 different souvenir shops. It was ridiculous. But I feel like my city needs one. I just feel like this city would be a huge tourist attraction. So I want to have a souvenir shop. I think that will look pretty good. Of course, I'm going to build the building up from there too. Again, in not a 1920s Art Deco, but in somewhat of a New York brownstone type look to it. Probably in a similar style to what the EMS station looks like. You know, just because. I think that'll look the best right there. So, can't wait to do that. And it's going to be interesting having the Downtown Diner right here, because number one, you got a 1920s style building, and then you'll have a 1950s style building, and then sort of in the middle, that brownstone is probably going to be more of a early 40s type of look to it, maybe even a 1910s. So this is kind of like a decade themed area right here. You know, you have different decades of building designs in just one area, whereas the rest of my city is kind of like clashed with a bunch of different building styles. You know, let's go ahead and be focusing on a few different decades of, you know, American architecture and stuff. Of course, the Art Deco wasn't specifically an American thing. It actually originated in France in the 1910s-ish time frame, and eventually made its way over to the United States, where it became very popular. But enough of the rambling. I'm going to end this live stream, but before I do, if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say before I go, just shout them out. So this is going to be my last live stream for a week or two. Actually, my last video for a few weeks. So you might want to get those questions out now, so you know you don't have to wait. But I think that's going to be it for now. Whoops, that wasn't good. But yeah, let me just give you one last shot at that hotel because it looks so nice. So that's going to be it for now, guys. I'll see you next time.